So thank you very much, Sueli, for the opportunity to speak before the Brazil-Florida Business Council. Seriously, I am delighted to be here making this Florida, in particular Tampa, Brazil connection. We recognize and see that there is a tremendous connection between Brazil and Tampa. And Brazil is the largest economy in Latin America, 7th largest in the world. Projections are probably 5th largest in the world by 2020. So we're talking about a big economy, and regardless of what might happen in the next couple of years, that's probably not going to change. Big economy, big opportunities, 200 million consumers, so it's a large population. When you see that, what is it that the middle class wants? The middle class wants better health care. Middle class wants to be able to travel. Middle class wants to and spend more money on cosmetics and shampoos and other consumer items. A lot of sectors fall into this theme. The second theme is basically abundant natural resources. Brazil is the leading either number 1 or number 2 producer of an awful lot of commodities, sugar, coffee, and iron ore, and now oil and gas since the discovery offshore. When you're talking about opportunities for American companies, you're talking about facilitating and helping Brazil with its, for example, agribusiness. And finally, infrastructure development. This is something that is very, very important, and certainly it doesn't do a whole lot of good to be able to be the world's largest producer of soybeans, or close to it, and then having half of the soybeans drop off of the truck on the way to the port. But still, broadly, ports, airports, roads, rails, these types of things are absolutely in demand and very much sort of hold opportunity for American companies that can find niches and can find areas to basically take advantage of this trend. So those are basically the 3 trends with respect to infrastructure development. So there's an appetite for U.S. goods and services. There's an interest, despite the challenges, in services in particular. So together, services plus merchandise, trade, goods and services, our two-way trade is about $100 billion. It's our 9th largest export market in the world these days. So, and you see Florida doing quite well, at about $5 billion of exports to Brazil every year. And that's roughly about I believe 8.7% of U.S. exports to Brazil from Florida. Brazil has done a remarkable job of getting out and working to try and educate the population to the extent that now more than 50% are in the middle class. And our priorities at the Commerce Department are to help increase and facilitate U.S. exports. In particular, there's an interest in healthcare, in energy efficiency, given energy issues. These are areas that Brazil wants our help. They want us to try and engage, and so we will. I haven't mentioned travel and tourism. We have a number of things on our calendar. We are doing a big a defense show that's taking place in Rio called LAD, and there's a lot of interest in cooperation in defense, in travel and tourism. We've got an airports infrastructure trade mission happening in May. We have a healthcare IT trade mission happening in August. We've got a water and water technologies event in August. So all of these things sort of taking advantage still of the themes, addressing the challenges, and doing what we can to support your companies for doing business in Brazil.